We were at a friend's housewarming party, a cozy little gathering with string lights, laughter bouncing off the walls, the scent of grilled sliders drifting through the air. I had stepped outside for just a few minutes to take a call, one of the kids from my program panicking after locking himself out of his apartment. I promised I'd help and slipped back in quietly to let Sabrina know I'd be gone for a bit. That's when I heard it, one of those accidental moments that changes everything. Someone in the next room asked her if she'd say yes if I proposed. It was Sarah, Troy's girlfriend, teasing in the half-joking tone friends use when love's in the air. Sabrina laughed, a sound I used to adore, but what followed hit harder than any words I've heard in years. "Oh, no," she said. "I'm not trying to marry someone like him. He's fine for now, but that's it." There was a silence. Then another voice asked, "But you've been together for 2 years. Don't you think he's expecting something?" Sabrina replied, her voice cool and casual. "Jack is sweet. And yeah, the whole he overcame adversity thing is admirable. But let's be real. He's always going to be scraping by. His idea of a vacation is camping. He gets those calls from his kids at all hours. It's fine for a while, gives you perspective. But to marry him? Live like that forever? No way." I froze in the hallway, the words slicing into me like glass. My hand instinctively reached for my pocket and brushed against a small velvet box I'd been carrying around for weeks, the one holding the ring I had saved 6 months to buy, the proposal I had planned under string lights, with laughter and a toast. All of it shattered in that moment. I didn't confront her, didn't step into the room. I turned and walked out, helped Marcus with his keys, and drove home in silence. That night my phone buzzed nonstop, calls from Sabrina, from Troy, from Sarah. I turned it off. By morning, there were 17 missed calls and a flood of texts, some concerned, some frustrated. Eventually, I replied with a single message. "I heard what you said at Troy's. I need space." She called again immediately. I didn't answer. She came to my apartment, waited in her car for hours. I didn't go out. Then Tuesday came, and I picked up a call from an unknown number. Her voice trembled. "Jack, please don't hang up. I'm pregnant." The air vanished from the room. "I took 3 tests yesterday," she said. "They were all positive. The doctor confirmed it today. I'm 6 weeks. I know what you heard. I know how it sounded. But I need you right now. Please." We met later that day at a quiet coffee shop. She looked completely undone. No makeup, hair in a mess, face raw and puffy from crying. Not the polished, poised Sabrina the world usually saw. Before I could speak, she leaned forward. I know what I said was awful, disgusting really, to everyone, but mostly to myself. She fumbled for words. When Sarah asked that question, I panicked. All those people watching me. I reverted to a version of myself I thought I'd buried. The one who worried about appearances, judged worth by income and Instagram vacations. I was scared. Her voice faltered. "Scared of how much I love you. You're the best person I've ever known. And I live in constant fear you'll wake up and realize I don't deserve you. That you'll see I'm just a marketing girl who once thought a person's worth was in their job title or their wardrobe." Bitterness cracked through my voice. "So you told people I was just a phase. That you'd never marry someone like me." She didn't flinch, just reached into her bag and pulled out a worn, soft leather journal. "Read this," she whispered. "It's from the past year." I marked the page. I turned to April 16th. Jack mentioned kids again today. Just casually, like it was obvious we'd have them together. I couldn't stop smiling after he left. I've never wanted kids before. Always thought they'd get in the way of my career. But with him, I find myself picturing a little boy with his kind eyes, a girl with his quiet strength. Is this what it feels like when you found your person? When you finally understand what home means? She watched me, silent. "I've got dozens of entries like that," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. "I've loved you longer than I could admit. To you or even to myself. The pregnancy didn't create this. It just forced me to stop pretending." I closed the journal gently and slid it back to her. "I need time," I said. Later that night, I called Troy. What happened at the party after I left? He exhaled. Man, about half an hour after you were gone, Sabrina pulled out those old childhood photos. The ones you keep locked away. She was showing everyone, telling us how proud she was of you. Said she wanted your kids to inherit your resilience. That she was working on restoring them. She had those. I asked, stunned. I kept them hidden in a fireproof box. Photos from my foster care years, the only pieces of a life scattered by loss and instability. After we hung up, I checked the box. The album was still there, but it had been restored. The worn cover reinforced with archival tape. Each photo cleaned up, colors sharpened, torn edges repaired. In the back, there was a USB drive labeled Digital Backups and a receipt from a restoration service, dated 3 months ago. The next day, I stood outside her apartment, still uncertain but needing answers. When she opened the door, she looked anxious, hopeful. I have questions, I said. We talked for hours about the party, the pregnancy, the photos, the deep-rooted fears neither of us had ever voiced. And when I finally spoke, it was from that aching part of me few people ever see. I've spent my life being treated like a charity case, a project, a man to fix or feel sorry for. I can't be with someone who sees me like that. I don't, she said firmly. That's what I've been trying to explain. I admire you, Jack. I messed up badly, but those words didn't come from my heart. They came from fear. But I see you, and I want this baby not because I have to, but because you're the kind of man I want to raise a child with. I reached into my coat pocket and pulled out the velvet ring box. Her breath caught, her hand flying to her mouth. I was going to propose that night, I said. Had the whole thing planned. String lights, a toast, back deck. She began to cry. But I'm not giving you this, I said, slipping the box away. Not today. Not yet. We have things to work through. She nodded slowly, understanding. I want this child, I said, and I want to try and build something real. Something rooted in truth, not appearances. That was a week ago. We're moving slowly now. She's staying at my place while we figure things out. She's sick every morning, and I hold her hair back without a word. We've started seeing a counselor. There's still pain, still doubt, but something's shifting. Last night, I found her at the dining table scanning more of my old photos, her fingers tracing each one like it was sacred. Why did you start doing this? I asked. She didn't look up. Because you keep every memory, even the painful ones. You taught me they matter, especially the ugly parts. I wanted to help preserve them. I don't know what the future holds. I don't know if trust will fully return, or if the wounds will ever close completely. But last night, when one of my kids called at 2 a.m. needing a ride out of rough part town, she reached for her keys without hesitation. You look tired, she said. Maybe I should go. Maybe that's something. Not a fairy tale ending. No cinematic redemption arc. Just a quiet human beginning. Honest. Earned. One small step forward.